SteelSeries is stepping up its game with an entirely new premium tier gaming headset, the Arctis Nova Elite. This is what SteelSeries consider a gaming audiophile headset, with a price to match. Is this the ultimate do-everything gaming headset or an expensive solution to problems most gamers don't actually have? The materials and build quality generally feel premium from the moment you pick up the Elite. The large plush ear cups are super comfortable for extended sessions, while the all-metal frame feels solid and sturdy without any flex or creaking. The suspension headband uses a soft fabric that doesn't feel scratchy or itchy like other more affordable headsets I've tried. I only have one long-term durability concern, which is the pleather wrapping on the ear cups, which I've seen wear out with heavy use. The adjustment system is also straightforward. You can slide the metal headband out to fit different head sizes, and the suspension band has 3 notches for height adjustment. The headphones themselves lay flat, but they don't actually fold for travel. There are magnetic plates on the outside for each ear cup for easy access to the removable battery on the right hand side, and yes I know, but this is like turned around, which you can hot swap with a second one with the charging base, which I had like 10 seconds ago. And it has a USB-C for charging under the left ear cup. So this is rotated the other way around. So this is the right, this is the left. Also, there is a retractable microphone, which is easy to pull in and out, as you can see here, and position for optimal sound. The gold accented metal volume roller has a nice textured feel, and the boom microphone does slide in and out smoothly with a slight indentation to pull it out. When retracted, it sits flush with the rest of the ear cup, as you can see here, and a visible red light illuminates when you mute the mic. Of course, you'll have to have that pulled out. SteelSeries also includes a nice travel pouch, which frankly is the least they can do for the price, and on top of the case it seals magnetically, and there's a large zippered compartment on the inside to hold cables and accessories. For example, there would be the entire base. The Game Hub base station is easy to set up and use. Simply plug it into your PC via the USB cable and the headphones automatically connect. There are plenty of ports in the back, and the audio can be mixed from up to 4 sources. However, I think the OLED screen is a poor choice as it displays the same menu most of the time, which is a cause of burn-in over time, especially with OLED. An e-ink display might have sufficed for the simple black and white interface. There are 3 main ways to control the Elite. The headset itself keeps things simple with controls on the left ear cup, a power button, which also cycles between ANC modes, a microphone mute button, and the textured volume dial. You can also make all the same controls from the Game Hub base station and more. The large golden knob is a pleasure to use, and the touch-sensitive button makes navigating through menus and audio channels easy enough. The menus are simple to navigate through for EQ settings, device mixing, and audio level monitoring across multiple connected devices. You can adjust pretty much everything from the base station without touching your computer. However, unless you're in-game, you might as well open up the SteelSeries GG software when you're at your desktop. The SteelSeries GG software offers more granular EQ control, including an 11-band parametric equalizer to dial in frequency, gain, and Q factor exactly as you want. There are also spatial audio options, AI-powered noise suppression for your microphone, and detailed mixing controls for separating game audio, chat, and media. The interface is more detailed and in-depth than the mobile app, and you can get features like gameplay recording, highlights, and streaming integration. Unlike the previous Nova Pro wireless, SteelSeries appears to have resolved the EQ integration issues. You can now use both software EQ settings and still make adjustments through the Game Hub's physical controls without conflicts of the one overriding the other. There are plenty of microphone equalization options as well, and you can select from several EQ presets, adjust the frequency band to your liking, and adjust side tone levels for both the boom mic and the microphones built into the headset, which activate when the boom mic is retracted. If you're primarily a console gamer, aka you have a Switch, a PS5, an Xbox, all connected to the base station, the mobile Arctis app is your only real option, and thankfully it's pretty capable. You get access to all the same game-specific EQs, real-time EQ adjustments for 2.4 GHz and Bluetooth connections, and microphone tuning. Plus, you don't have to leave the couch in the middle of a game. For connection options, the Arctis Nova Elite supports 2.4 GHz wireless with high-res 96 kHz 24-bit audio transmission. On the Bluetooth side, you get 5.3 with LE audio support, including SBC, LC3, and LC3 Plus codecs, on top of having multi-point connectivity for managing multiple devices. I wish it had aptX or LDAC support, as currently not many phones have LC3 Plus support. Then you have OmniPlay, where you can mix audio from up to 4 sources simultaneously. On top of the simultaneous Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz wireless, this makes 6 audio streams in total. For example, you can have your USB connections to your gaming PC, PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, and then Bluetooth to your phone. Right there. All of this feeding audio to the headset simultaneously. And the Game Hub base station handles this through the USB-C ports, plus the dedicated 3.5 line in and line out jacks. For these situations where you don't want to lug the base station around, the headset has a 3.5mm audio jack for wired listening. There's no support for direct USB though. You can't plug the headset directly into a PC via USB-C to get audio, only charging. Not that you'll have to charge at all. Theoretically, you don't have to ever charge using the USB port on the side of the headset. SteelSeries uses what they call the infinite power system, which is one battery in the headset and one battery in the base station. While that's a bit of marketing hyperbole, you effectively can't run out of battery. The 2 batteries provide 30 hours of playtime each. And let's be real, you have to sleep at one point, and the 60-hour mark isn't where you want to plant that flag. When one battery dies, the headset stays powered on for about 8 seconds, allowing you to swap assuming that you are fast enough. Here I'm just doing it calmly, but I don't think I made it. Nope. I didn't. Each battery takes roughly 3 hours to fully charge, but the fast charging delivers 4 hours of playtime just from 15 minutes charging via USB-C.
You're listening to the boom mic in the gaming corner of the office on the Arctis Nova Elite. And if I move over to the inbuilt microphone, bring it up over here, it gives you a much more discreet look, as you can see here. But I am swapping between the 2 different mics because the boom mic is going to sound different than the actual built-in mic into the headset.
If the sound doesn't suit you, there are a lot of tune profiles which you can even tweak more precisely with the EQ from the SteelSeries GG software. Check out the full review on the SoundGuys website for all of the microphone samples. For ANC, the Elite delivers a significant upgrade over the Nova Pro Wireless in both passive isolation and active noise cancellation. With ANC enabled, the headset achieves an average noise reduction of 84%, making it the best noise-canceling gaming headset we have tested so far. The well-sealed ear cups provide good passive isolation, but the active cancellation really shines in the low frequencies where it matters the most. The ANC helps considerably reduce the loudness of air conditioning hums, computer fans, traffic rumble, or that annoying refrigerator buzz. It's also surprisingly effective at reducing conversations happening nearby or the keyboard clicking from other gamers in the room. But how do the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Elite actually sound? I really like how the Arctis Nova Elite sounds for gaming and listening to music. While the default tuning may not suit everyone's preferences, there are extensive EQ customization options to get the headset to sound exactly how you want to. For music, the Elite's default tuning, listening to rock tracks with prominent cymbals, can sound shrill with the out-of-the-box tuning. Mr. Brightside by The Killers occasionally feels overly emphasized in sections of high frequencies, creating some sibilance with the hi-hats and cymbals. In games, I could distinguish between close and distant audio cues in games like Call of Duty or Battlefield. Personally, in FPS games, it has more than decent stereo imaging. While the spatial depth allows me to gauge the distance between me and the opponent, it doesn't feel like it's the most accurate. But it does well enough to give me enough information to work with. The spatial width allows me to easily determine the general direction of a sound source. There's a smooth delineation when panning across. However, there's barely any spatial width precision in sounds from behind. Separation is what it lacks. While I can tell that things are happening around me, it's a little difficult to pick out specific sound at times, such as footsteps or ability cues. In terms of lag, I never experienced any notable latency or delay while gaming with the headset over the 2.4 GHz connection either. If you're using the Elite for cozy games, whether that's Hollow Knight or Animal Crossing, as I mentioned earlier, there's a specific emphasis on sections of the treble that can be fatiguing. The Elite does alright, but you might want to go into the EQ to remedy this. If you're into story-based games where dialogue is the focus, there is a lot of emphasis on the bass and treble that it tends to make the background music and effects feel more forward. The Arctis Nova Elite's default frequency response shows a bass response that stays closer to our house curve without any overemphasis. However, there's a significant scoop in the mid-range between 200 to 500 Hz, as well as a noticeable dip at 5 kHz. followed by a treble peak just before 9 kHz. This treble emphasis can actually benefit gaming by enhancing positional audio cues. However, this can be fatiguing for some people. So should you buy the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Elite for nearly $600? The SteelSeries Arctis Nova Elite certainly isn't cheap. To be fair, the main selling point is the ability to connect to multiple devices. In other words, you have to be able to afford a gaming PC, a PlayStation, an Xbox, this one over here, and all of that. And a Switch. There we go, Switch. If you own this many game consoles and a PC, you can probably afford it. But for many, it's definitely overkill. Most other capabilities like game-specific EQ presets and the custom equalizer are available in much more affordable SteelSeries options like the Nova 5 or even Nova 3. The investment makes more sense if it will double as your gaming headset, and everyday headphones, the sleek non-gamer aesthetic, and the premium build quality support that dual role, as do the extensive EQ options, and both the boom and built-in microphones perform well for calls on the go and or gaming at home. The hot swappable battery system means that this headset can last forever, but again, you can get that feature with the Nova Pro Wireless for half the price. Sure, this is the ultimate do-it-all gaming headset if you have a spec'd out gaming station or streaming setup. Still, if you're primarily gaming on one platform, you're paying a hefty premium for many bells and whistles with diminishing returns. And you may want to consider options like this video over here. No, seriously. Okay, we're done. I'm good. Oh, Jesus Christ.